Hello again. I am pretty often accused on this channel of having a blind spot where Jews are concerned, in that I laugh off the idea of a protocols of the elders of Zion style conspiracy to take over the world and run it for the benefit of the Rothschilds and their co-religionists. Then too, some people seem to find something decidedly fishy about the fact that I'm such a fan of Israel, to the extent that my wife buys me sweatshirts which bear the seal of the Mossad. Clearly, I'm in the pay of those dastardly Jews, and they use me as a gatekeeper or controlled opposition or whatever other coded expression one cares to come up with. Perhaps I'm even a Jew myself. There is in fact a much simpler explanation than this, and I thought that I might give it this morning, and so stop all further speculation about my sinister motives. For I am not alone in my love of Israel and unswerving loyalty to the country. There are many thousands of us going quietly about our business, generally unknown to those around us as Zionists. It is a chilling prospect, a little like those science fiction films where aliens take over people who, although they look quite ordinary on the outside, are actually possessed by creatures from another planet. Like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, perhaps. Shortly after the end of the Six-Day War of 1967, when Israel defeated Syria, Jordan and Egypt in a war lasting less than a week, Jews from Britain and other European countries, as well as the United States, began spending a few months living on kibbutzim and giving their work free to help Israel. Within a few years, non-Jews started doing the same thing, and by the mid-1970s it was chiefly non-Jews who were going across to live on a kibbutz, largely because they wanted to see what it was like to live in a Marxist commune. The kibbutz, you see, was Marxism in practice. They were collective farms where all builders, tractors, land and so on was owned communally, and money had been abolished. Everybody ate communally in a dining hall, and children didn't live with their parents, but they were also raised communally. Once babies were 6 months old, they went to live in special accommodation with the other children, and were looked after by adults whose job it was. Many young people in the 1960s and 1970s wanted to see this lifestyle in action. They lived communally themselves in buildings like barracks and worked without wages, eating in the dining hall with everybody else. Over the years from 1967 to 2000, over 250,000 young people in their teens or 20s went to live on kibbutzim for a while. The greatest number, over 50,000, came from this country, and most of them were not Jewish. I went off to live on kibbutz Bet Zera, which is near the Golan Heights, in April 1977, 46 years ago to the day. Bet Zera can be seen in the thumbnail to this video. You can see the Israeli flag flying alongside the red flag to indicate socialism. Almost without exception, those who left the kibbutz after this experience had become Zionists and supporters of Israel. Most are now in their 40s, 50s and 60s, because the whole scheme came more or less to an end after the Intifada. The kibbutzim are very different these days, of course. Quite a few of those Zionists are now in influential positions in Britain. To give two examples of people who spent time on a kibbutz in this way, one was Dominic Raab, who is now Deputy Prime Minister. Another was, of course, Boris Johnson. When I describe this huge cohort as a fifth column, that's a little joke, but there is no doubt that there are many people like me with strong Zionist views as a result of all this. I hope this goes some way towards explaining why, even though I'm not actually Jewish, viewers might from time to time glimpse a necklace which I never remove, which bears my name in Hebrew. I was one of those who didn't just live on a kibbutz. I then went on to live in the city as well. I used to have a flat in Jerusalem for something over a year. Lived near Gaza as well for a time. I do hope this will end once and for all questions about whether I am a Jew, and if so, whether I'm being paid by the Mossad. I can assure everybody that whatever I say and do as regards Israel is motivated by love of the country rather than any financial interest.